ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
It's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
this a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
Yeah. Oh, Mary, you hear that noise?
Yeah, it's mine. Sorry, I was cold.
Thank everybody for tuning in to another episode of Head to Head with Brian Parker. I am, and we are back for another week of thank y'all for joining in, streaming live and direct on LinkedIn, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Instagram, Facebook Live, as well as YouTube. Please help us if you can on our YouTube channel by going to Empowered TV Network and like, share, and subscribe to the page. We are on a drive for 10,000 subscribers on our YouTube page because we do realize that YouTube is a great platform, but it does work with the algorithm-based program. So the more subscribers and views, the more reach that the show actually has.
You're going in and out, so I don't know if you need to raise the mic up, but you're kind of muffled. Sorry.
How about
now? It's better, but when you were talking before, it was kind of like you was like the teacher from Charlie Brown, like that.
Okay. Oh, it's kind of weird. 1 second.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. And as we got a little bit of technical difficulties, but yes, as Brian is adjusting his mic and the sound, we are on a drive for 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. So like, share, subscribe, and help us with to get to 10,000 followers on YouTube.
That's me. Am I still muffled?
Now you're better, but before when you first came in, it was like that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Just let me know, producer. Yeah, that's the things with live TV, y'all. Sometimes, but anyway, what was that? Oh yeah, 10,000 subscribers and all that good stuff. Also, too, if you would like to, if you are a business owner, if you have events, if you have a project that you would like to promote, please reach out to me. We can actually do a commercial or a product read for you on air, and also put those up on our platform as well. So reach out to us. You can either send us a direct message now, or you can sit there and send us an email at theparkermedia@gmail.com. Am I still going in and out? You're looking at me kind of funny.
Because it was like you were good, then it was low, and then it would kind of came back up. So not sure about your equalizer or something. That's why. Just checking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, damn it. I ain't got time to fool with that today. Can you hear me good?
Yes, I can.
All right. I ain't messing with that thing right today. All right. Somebody hit love on it too. All right, good. Anyway, I don't know what's going on. Hey, Betty Morris, how you doing? That's probably who it is. So anyway, if you are a business owner and you want to be able to advertise on the channel, please do so. Also, kind of a major announcement, new announcement too. For the last 4 years, I've done this show. And one of the things that I've always wanted to do with this show is expand the network even more. It's called the Empower TV Network. And when you think about what the word network is actually about networking, bringing others into the fold. So one of the things that I want to do in 2025 and beyond is look for serious-minded folks out there that may not have enough content to carry their own TV channel. If they would like to partner with us, maybe they have content that they would like to share on a regular basis. So if you have your own podcast, if you have your own talk show, and you want to be able to put it on Amazon and Roku, reach out to me and let's see if I can work with you to be able to make that a reality where you can actually stream live podcasts, live shows that you have, and amplify your reach by putting it not only on just a regular feed, but you can expand it to Facebook, you can expand it to Instagram, you can expand it to YouTube, you can also put it on Roku, all at the same time, and gain even more followers. And one of the things, Lori, I have as a dream too is as you guys know, we have a regular show on Wednesdays throughout the NFL football season called Head to Head Sports, where myself, Randall Hargrove, we go through the NFL games like we're going through right now with the playoffs in full swing. And we give a lot of commentary about the NFL. And people have always asked me, hey, Brian, have you considered doing a bigger sports show that encompasses the NBA, NCAA basketball, baseball, hockey, NASCAR? And I think there's a place for that. And I would love to be able to have that on the network. That's why I want to keep looking at 2025 and beyond as is growing the network. And I think that there's an opportunity if there are those out there, again, that may want to put together a show for NASCAR, a show for baseball, a show for the NBA, or just a all-out sports show that covers a little bit of everything and broadcast it live, but maybe you don't have enough content for a 24-hour channel. Reach out to us. Let's see if we can put something together where you can broadcast it on the Empower TV network, which would be big, I think. So what that means is that as much as I would love to be able to delve into a lot more things on the network, man, my bandwidth is already at the maximum level. A lot of times it's not how much you can do by yourself. It's being able to partner with others and be able to grow that way too. So that's what we want to do with the network. So we want to be able to grow, but I can't just grow it all by myself, or it's not going to grow. So reach out to me if that is something that you want to do. Again, advertising. Let me just give you a nice taste of that. This is a new year, and guys, if you are tired of paying rent, maybe home ownership is the answer for you. And if you're in the state of North Carolina, I can't think of any other real estate brokerage that would be any better for you than Jermaine Parker Realty. And we got that for you right now. Check it out. Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions that you'll make. Here at Jermaine Parker Realty, we're here to help you navigate through that process. We know that a home is more than just a place to live. It creates memories. Here at Jermaine Parker Realty, we're here to help. Give us a call and let us get started on your journey. Okay, a little bit of a shameless plug because I'm one of the realtors at Jermaine Parker Realty. But that don't mean I can't not help you sell a house. I mean, sell or buy a house, or a potential investment property as well. So reach out to us and let us know how we can help with you. We also partner with other realtors throughout the state of North Carolina. So there's that. Let's welcome aboard Mr. CJ Jones, the host of Elephant Exposed, as seen on YouTube, where he peels back the layers and goes deep diving into law enforcement, the ins and the outs, and sometimes the injustices there lies in. How you doing, Mr. Jones?
I'm present.
He is. He is. He's still smiling, Lori. Look at him. Look at him.
I'm present.
Yeah. I counted about 64 teeth when as soon as he came on. He's still smiling. But boy, when you got somebody good to you, boy, but it make that grin look a whole lot different. He's still shining and everything. Look at his forehead, Lord. Look at it.
What's that song? Hit different. Hit different.
I know something hitting. But yeah, that's good. That's good. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. I'm happy for you. Happy for you. All right, y'all. Well, we got some things to cover. I had things even from last week that we didn't even touch. So we can go so many different directions, but I'm gonna work my way back just a little bit. Man, them playoffs is something that no, I'm just kidding. I ain't gonna go into football because I'll bore Lori to death. But I will say that we got some really good games coming up this weekend, and me and FanDuel are here for it.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna tell you, y'all gotta be careful.
You will not bore me to death at all. Not at all.
Oh yeah, sure.
I thoroughly enjoy it.
Who playing this weekend, Lori?
I don't know, but I'll just be here to make sure that we're hydrated and fed.
Lori, give me one team that's playing this weekend. Damn, I mean, anybody could have guessed Kansas City. The Chiefs always playing in the playoffs. At least it seemed that way.
And I just say they starting to be the new Patriots.
They are. And then you got my Eagles too, and Brad's Rams, and they got Brad's Rams got to come to Brickadelphia and play them, and that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be Brickadelphia this weekend. It's gonna be cold as hell. So yeah, good luck coming from that beautiful LA weather in the Brickadelphia and trying to play some football. They ain't built for that. So
they not. I'm telling you, cold weather, man. You looking at who's some really good cold weather playing teams? I think
the Buffalo Bills.
Bills, they excel in cold weather.
Look, they in upstate New York, bro. Yeah, and they got an outdoor stadium. That tell you they play the same thing in New England. They up all the way up.
And the Vikings in Minnesota. Vikings. I think the
no, sis. Listen, I don't know what happened the other. I don't know what happened the other day. For a team to be 12-3 or 12-4 or whatever it was.
14-3.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Yeah, 14-3.
That team didn't show up
at all.
At all. I went to sleep watching it. Woke up and was like, I should have stayed asleep.
Yeah, yo, I think somebody told them that the game was this weekend. And some replacement players went and played.
No. You don't get no practice runs.
Somebody told them that they beat Detroit and they had that first week bye, and they had to go and said, y'all got played this following weekend. And they said, okay, then. And then some replacement players took their uniforms and went and played. That's what it looked like. That's what it looked like.
Bro.
This weekend right here, you got Washington, and the Washington Commanders, give them credit, Lori. They won their first playoff game in 19 years by beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels, that looks like it don't matter how bright them lights are above him when you're the only game on at that time. That kid is got ice in his veins.
He's not playing like a rookie.
He's not
playing like a rookie. Yeah. He's playing like a hungry veteran that wants to win.
But I think, and I think that with the Commanders winning is due to I was told by a good friend of mine who had on her Washington Redskins jersey during the game because she doesn't deal with the name of the commander. So I think that's what. So she told me that that's what brought the win.
Oh, okay.
That's again she was saying because it's always Redskins, never the Commanders. But I digress.
All right. Well, let's transition from football while that's still going on to some things that are starting to wrap up. This is going to be the last weekend of the Biden administration. And as a matter of fact, by the time one quick programming note so I can tie this all together. I'll be in cold ass Columbus, Ohio next week. So when I have a show next week. And when I say cold ass Columbus, I looked at the forecast next week, and on Tuesday the high is, when I get there, it's supposed to be 6 degrees. The low is supposed to be -4.
We're ahead in gloves.
It doesn't get above 10 degrees until like Thursday.
And well, my son,
it's 18. So I'll be freezing my ass off. Thank you very much.
My son will be coming out of boot camp on the 20th.
Oh, yeah? Where's he at?
Oh, wow.
Great Lakes.
Damn.
So you all right.
Damn. Yeah. Them lake effects ain't
he right there on the water.
I've been in Fort Wayne, Indiana before in January, and trust me, I did not understand what lake effects were until I went to Fort Wayne, Indiana, and that is a whole nother kind of cold.
That's the type of cold that'll hurt you.
Don't be in Charlotte and it be 25 degrees outside and you talking about it's cold. Let me explain to you what lake effects is. The high could be in the negative.
Amen.
Wind drifts.
Amen.
Wind drifts and
you
snow.
You got lakes around you that are frozen inches deep.
Yes, sir.
No.
Yep.
No.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
And like every so often, on the pier of Norfolk, they have to rush the grudger because it has to break up the ice, so the ships won't get stuck.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They have to dredge those trenches all over again just to go to the canal.
See, now, if I was Trump, I would say something like, why can't they just put heaters on the bottom of the boat and warm the water and put a lot of sharks around it to keep circling around it? Keep the ice away.
Oh, God.
Because if I had to choose,
I don't know.
Who's getting warmed by the boat
heater on the shark to make it to unfreeze the water too?
All I want is freaking sharks with freaking lasers on their heads. I just want sharks with freaking lasers on their heads.
Because if I had to choose
listen, I don't know whether
for electrocution, I would choose electrocution every time.
I don't know whether to get ready to cry, laugh, be sad,
both,
throw shade, like
all of the above.
Hey,
because
and Anthony had a question.
I know. I'm tying it into his question. I'm tied to his question, but yeah, that's where we're going with this. Because if we had the show next week, it would be the first Thursday. Trump will have been president for 3 days by the same time this week. Mm-hmm. And so so we're right at the end. Anthony wanted to know off the bat, what is our opinion of the Joe Biden farewell speech?
Love you, Uncle Joe.
I'll open it up. I don't know if you guys saw any of Joe Biden's farewell speech. Honestly, I didn't see all of it. I did see snippets of it, Anthony. The parts that I saw, I had no problem with. I mean, I will say this. Whether you love Joe Biden, whether you could give two damns about Joe Biden or not, or somewhere in between, you do have to at least recognize the fact that he has given 50 years of his life to public service. Giving 50 years of your life to anything is a hell of a commitment. And I've not always agreed with everything that Joe Biden has stood for and with. But I do recognize the fact that a lot of that came at him sacrificing things for himself. Now, I do believe that most politicians don't just do that because they're just totally selfless. Like he didn't get anything out of all those years of public service. I'm sure he did. But he did serve. He had an opportunity to be able to let the country know how he felt about where things lie. He seemed to be a little bit optimistic still that bipartisanship can eventually become a thing again. Right now, it is a very dirty word because people are on political teams that look at the other team as the enemy. And I think that that is not going to change anytime soon just because everything has become politicized. It's funny how, I started this show talking about the political lean in everything around us. And if you think about it, everything has become so politicized. And if you're not in the same agreement with people, then it's almost like you are a mortal enemy. And I have to not just argue with you, because there's nothing wrong with arguments and debate. That's what makes us stronger, is when we come with different points of view about the same topic and have those critical debates that we have. But now it goes deeper than that. I'm going to vilify you. I'm going to dehumanize you a lot of times. I'm going to make you seem like you are a terrorist or a traitor or something like that. And Biden also talked about there's an oligarchy that is trying to invade in the country, and he's absolutely right. When you think about elections being, Lori, is that you? Oh, I keep hearing some squealing. No, I'm sorry, I should have kept it going. There's an oligarchy because when you think about it, there's only a few people that are making a lot of decisions for us all. And when I mean by a few people, I'm not talking about Trump, I'm not talking about Congress, I'm talking about all of these people that bankroll these folks, that donate to their campaigns, that put money into their political action committees and things like that. When you have somebody like an Elon Musk, who shouldn't be anywhere near government because of his obvious conflict of interest. He has the largest electric vehicle company. He already has gun contracts. He already has space contracts with SpaceX and things like that involve the government. No way in the world should he be on a committee for government efficiency, because guess what? It's not going to be any surprise when he has initiatives that he wants to do that's going to benefit his businesses. But those seem to be the people that end up making even more money off of the backs of us. And that's what oligarchs do. All they do is they sit there and they redistribute wealth to the top. But for some reason, the people in the middle and at the bottom pay the brunt of everything it is that they want to do. So I had absolutely no issue. Anthony, I don't know if you had any issue. It wasn't a Biden is going out the same way he came in, not bragging about any damn thing that he did. Biden could have spent a whole lot of time, not only last night, but throughout the course of his presidency, bragging about all of the great accomplishments that the country has had. And rest assured, there have been some great accomplishments. He came into office, we had COVID going on. He had to steer us clear out of that before we could tackle anything else. We had to slow down people dying every day. We had to sit there and get jabs in people's arms. We had to fight a disinformation and conspiracy theory machine that people were trying to generate, talking about vaccines cause what is it? You're a little slow. You know what I'm talking about? Make you autistic. It can make you autistic, or it can affect things, or they putting magnets in you. They tracking you. They putting stuff in you with the jabs and all this kind of stuff to make people fearful of having vaccines. So he had to fight all of that. He had to sit there and try to get people back to work and reverse the loss of jobs that happened at the end of the Trump administration, and not just replace the 2 million jobs was lost, but create an additional 17 million jobs on top of that, replace all the COVID jobs, and then consistently grow the economy. We had to sit there and get the supply chain back going again so that people could order something today and get it in 3 to 4 days and not 3 or 4 months. Not have a shortage of toilet paper where you get tiny little ass rolls from China like me and Lori did. Little stuff like that. We had to fight that supply chain. Supply chain's in a better place. We had record high inflation. Now we've sat there and pulled inflation back to 2%, which is a lot better than where it was. We had to sit there and get the economy strong and bring down the unemployment rate to under 4%, which we did several times, so that we could unlock higher interest rates and let the Fed sit there and have confidence to cut the interest rate not only once, but twice now in the last 4 years. A lot of things. We had to come up with the Chips and Sciences Act so that we could sit there and have chip manufacturing here in the States, because during COVID, we realized that when we don't have chips, that can affect cell phones, that can affect equipment like machinery, and all kinds of things. So now we're trying to bring more chip production into the United States. So if, God forbid, we had another pandemic, we could sit there and not have to worry about where we're going to get our chips from and things like that. They sat there and they capped insulin at $25 for those that are on Medicare. That is huge, because as somebody that takes insulin, I can tell you, I take 1 pen a week. I get a prescription of 4 pens. It's $1,100. Imagine somebody that takes 3 and 4 jabs a day, how much their insulin costs. Yeah, I have a pen, 4 of them, $1,112. Thank God for my insurance. Thank God for my insurance, because if I didn't have insurance through my job,
yeah,
I probably wouldn't be here, because I couldn't afford my. That's just one medicine though. Most diabetics have at least 3 to 4 prescriptions. That's just one. And a lot of my other medicines, they average over $500-$600 if I did not have insurance. Because when you go get your prescription, it'll show you what it actually costs, and then you can see what you paid for it. And I just sit there and I look and I'm like, there's no way. When you think about just that insulin pens alone, that is over $12,000 a year in just insulin that I get. That's insane. And then that's when you end up having people sit there and they ration their medicine. Okay, I'm supposed to take it 3 times a day. I'll only take it 1 time a day so that I can stretch it out, so I can afford, my prescriptions and stuff like that. People have to make decisions like that because they still got to eat. They still got to have a place over their head. They still got other expenses. Some of these people take care of elderly family members. Some of these people have children, adopted kids, all kinds of things in their life. So being able to cap off at least insulin right now, and then they came up with even expanding even more drugs to cap off. So Big Farm could not just sit there and charge outrageous prices. They now had to come to the negotiating table and bring their prices down. That was definitely a win. We had an infrastructure bill that got passed that is putting boots on the ground, that's putting shovels in the ground, and projects are being dispersed all over the country. Roads, bridges, infrastructure, internet access to rural areas. It's funny, who lives in most of the rural areas? Republicans. Most rural areas are red districts, and it benefits them. And Joe Biden said, you know what? Even though y'all mofos didn't vote for me, I'm still going to bring things to your area and your community that benefit you, because I consider myself the president of everyone, not the president of Democrats.
That part.
He's had a lot of things that he could be proud of. He let me down with the way that he handled Gaza, but in honesty and in, I don't want to say giving him benefit of the doubt, but the problem with Gaza is that all he did was carry the water for America's long-standing groveling towards Israel. And a lot of it comes from a theocracy of believing that Israel is the chosen people and they can do no wrong. And that is that's craziness, because we basically sat there and watched over 47,000 people get wiped out over a war of genocide that Israel created, and the Biden administration was too chicken shit to even address it as a genocide. Yet there are other countries that they flat out said were committing genocide, and it was no different than what Israel was doing. Israel just kept saying we have a right to defend ourselves. I'm sorry that the 1,200 people on October the 6th or whatever it was got killed for no reason and hostages got taken. But you can't tell me that because 1,200 people lost their lives, you had to go wipe out 47,000 displaced people, start a famine where they did not have anything to eat, that you targeted them, that you killed the press, that you killed the world food people that were out there on the front lines just trying to bring food to them, that you turned back truck after truck for one reason or another, because you said that they could take tent poles and turn those into weapons, and that whole truck had to go back as a result of that. And hide under that, guys, when basically the whole thing is you just basically wanted to wipe Gaza out, turn Gaza Strip into a place for resettlement for Israelis. And you can call it anything you want to, but a genocide is a genocide, and by any other name, it is still a damn genocide. So Joe Biden had a list of accomplishments. Like I said, I believe the issue in Gaza hurt him and Kamala Harris in the election, where people basically said, we're going to sit this out, even if that means handing the election over to the orange buffoon, and let him get a second crack at it, because it'll be his last term. He only has 4 years. How much could he actually do as far as damage? And we're going to talk a little bit about that, because I got my thoughts on how much damage can Trump actually do versus some of the things that he tried to telegraph ahead of time before even stepping into office, some of the things that he was going to do and accomplish. So we'll talk about those. I know I went through a whole lot of achievements, Anthony, but that is the truth. He could have spent all of his time talking about all the great things that he did and how he made things better. But what he wanted to do was express a little bit of optimism, but also give us caution to what is in front of us, be clear-eyed about it, and go into it ready to be able to push back against those tendencies of oligarchy that's in front of us. That was a lot. So anything to add on that? I know I ran through a lot, ticked through a lot of that stuff. But anything y'all wanted to add to that?
Not at all, bro. You covered it all.
Nice. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What's your name? Lori, nice to meet you. Go ahead.
Nice to meet you too.
Your first time here?
No, I'm a regular.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I didn't catch all of it, but I did, like you said, I did catch pieces and parts of it. But overall, I think that Biden went out in a classy way, despite, even though agreeing with you that I wish that Biden would have bragged more about what he did. But because of Biden's service and as being a statesman and serving our country as a senator, as a president, he definitely did it in a very classy way. And, and I did appreciate his forewarning of things, and it needed to have been said. And as we prepare for the foolishness, but that's what I had to say. Thank you.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, sis. There's always that little bit of kind of like get back, that we all kind of like look for collectively.
Mm-hmm.
But the people like Biden have his mentality. They have always been known to take the high road, So I'm not surprised
Right.
that he kept the speech very civil, very humble. Because there was no need. Because I mean, here's how I look at it. When we was on our platforms and we were screaming bloody murder and throwing up the warning signs and showing fact instead of fiction and having actual plans instead of thoughts and concepts of a plan and all these types of things, we went just as hard and it was all ignored. So you really think that they're gonna wait in the last hour, the last minute, that all of a sudden somebody's gonna catch a revelation and be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
no."
Yeah.
And so I'm saying that in reference to he didn't brag about his accomplishments. He didn't go into like a whole lot of how he did turn the economy around and things like that. Because we were saying that the whole time. Wasn't nobody trying to hear that. They wanted to be entertained. They wanted to see the immaturity. They wanted to hear the cussing and the picking at people and calling them out their names and stuff like that, to the very same people that put him in office.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yes, abuse me more, abuse me more. Oh, you mean I'm really affected? Oh, he wasn't playing. Oh, you wasn't playing? You wasn't joking? Well, this is the find out stage. So welcome.
There you go. And I also think too that even to an extent, when Biden came in, he wanted to deliver a contrast. And you should. I mean, when somebody is doing one thing one way for a period of time, and you say, "Well, I can do something better." Well, okay, if I give you the opportunity to do something better, I should be able to see clear differences between the two. And when you look at the humility of the speech that he gave, it is going to be a direct comparison to the speech that you're going to hear on Monday during the inauguration from Donald Trump. You are going to see two totally different styles. Somebody that's more reserved and optimistic for the future, somebody that thinks that America can't have a future if he's not the head of it, that everything is destruction. As he called the last speech, he started talking about all the doom and gloom and everything else. It was one of the craziest inauguration speeches that I ever heard of before, where he just started just talking about all of this imagery that he was given, and I'm just like, man, that's how you see America. That's how you see us, just as this nation that is just lacking and almost on life support, and we got to have you come in and rehabilitate us and save us. The military didn't even have any bullets until he came and stuff like that. Just stupid stuff. And people ate that up. Oh, they ain't had no bullets. The military doesn't have no bullets. Really? None? Not one magazine, not a clip, nothing. Till you came, because you're a gunsmith and we're sure you were making bullets. Yeah, okay, whatever. Just all of the carnage is what he called it, American carnage. That's what he said. Carnage. During an inauguration speech where you're supposed to sit there and look forward to the next 4 years as the greatest 4 years that we've ever had, and all those and he will get into that part too, but it'll always get tied back to him. It'll be because of me. It's going to be a me speech. Where
Right,
Biden,
and so
Biden did not focus on me.
So therefore, y'all let me know how it turned out, because I ain't watching the crap.
Well, I'm not going to watch it live because I'm not going to contribute to the ratings. I will catch clips of it more than likely on YouTube, because I will be somewhat interested in the foolishness that he says. But number one, I'm not spending my Martin Luther King listening to that shit live.
Oh gosh, absolutely not.
No.
And I would, people, you do what you want, but I would advise you not to either, because this fool, number one, loves ratings and crowd sizes more than anything. And I don't even know how Carrie Underwood gonna come back from this myself because she's supposed to be performing.
Dude, man, they jumped on her so quick.
Yes,
I mean, I just caught wind of it.
yeah, bro.
I mean, literally, I was just going through Facebook.
I mean, it was hard being a Rockette, even though, and they performed at his last inauguration. It was bad enough just being a Rockette. But he had a very slim picking of performers the last time he was inaugurated. It was
well, I mean, he always got Kid Rock.
Yeah, of course, and Ted Nugent. It was pretty bad. It was really bad.
Sis, don't look at me like that. I was.
And I don't know. Maybe Dean Cain can sing some songs too.
Is Ted Nugent able to move around? Oh, well, maybe yes, that's so, because he's probably hunting in the backwoods somewhere with a coon hat on and something like that.
Lord.
Just I can't. But the Carrie Underwood thing is just, I was just kind of like, really?
Yeah, that was
like, really.
She shouldn't have did that, man. Like, she better catch a cold or something.
She did say that she wanted to everybody come together and this way and stand together. But I'm like, you could have did something else.
Find another way because you have a platform and she's gonna take a hit from. I'm trying to see who else is performing for it. There's a list of performers. The list can't be that long. Classic tenor Christopher Macchio is supposed to perform. Lee Greenwood.
Okay, he's country. Okay.
Kid Rock.
I knew it.
The Village People. Okay.
Stop it.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Some of these are at the rallies. I pulled up and it gave me the wrong damn thing. Hold on. Let me double check.
Because I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I'm like Lee Greenwood. Okay.
Okay. I got it. It is NASCAR heavy. Okay. Here's some names. So Carrie Underwood. Yes. Lee Greenwood, Kid Rock, Jason Aldean, Billy Ray Cyrus, Parker McCullum, that's a national singer. Gavin DeGraw, the Liberty University Praise Choir.
Oh, wait.
So it's gonna be a parade.
Wait.
A parade and
run that back one more again.
Liberty University's Praise Choir. You know, Liberty University is Jerry Falwell's old school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. That makes sense. Liberty.
That makes sense. But with the
Bible, I was scrolling because I was trying to find Beyonce. I was looking for, maybe Dua Lipa. I'm missing it somewhere.
No.
The Rascal Flatts.
Of course.
I mean, when the last time have you heard the Rascal Flatts? Come on, man.
Not in years.
Damn. The only one he missing is damn Vanilla Ice.
Oh Lord.
But he's a home builder now. He builds homes.
I'm just saying. I'm saying if you're gonna resurrect the dead with the Rascal Flatts, go ahead and give Ice Ice Baby one more go round.
Oh Lord.
Hell, they probably trying to figure out how to dig up Tom Petty's ass.
Oh,
that's just bad.
Yeah. Oh, and the casket of Rush Limbaugh. Okay, there we go. I'm just kidding.
The casket?
That was me.
Okay. Because I was like, they gonna actually put a casket out on this one as they walk down? Oh no!
With his gold EIN microphone. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, that's I mean, so the reason Carrie's catching all that heat is because out of all those people, by far, she's the most relevant. She's the one with the cachet. She's the most successful, and
what about the Aldean? He's pretty.
Jason Aldean, yeah, he's good in his own right. He's good in his own right.
Yeah.
Billy Ray's been washed up. I mean, Miley is doing a whole lot more right now, but I mean, but when you think about Jason Aldean or Carrie Underwood, I would still give a nod to Carrie Underwood. So she's I hope she knows what she's doing.
Oh, she absolutely does. She feels she's going to unite us all.
Think about it like this: 50%. I'm sorry, is it 50?
Of what?
50% of America is in support of this, or of the voting America. I should say it like that. 50% of the voting.
The 78 million that voted for Trump is
right, and that's why I have to say it like that, because sometimes people are here like half of America feel that way. No. Half of voting America is in support of this rap.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, which there's truth to that. Yeah, absolutely, I agree with it. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. So, very light on the performers. But hey, a lot of people don't. But we are seeing a lot more folks try to warm up to him and be in his good graces and stuff like that. And a lot of it is because they're looking out for themselves. Mark Zuckerberg sat there and basically not only kissed the ring, he kissed it and he stuck it up the crack of his ass. And said, Donald, watch this. I can shit it right back out and give it to you. When he sat there and basically took the fact check. If somebody is pushing you to remove fact checking, somebody's problem with you is you make sure that the truth is being told.
Right.
Somebody that even during the debates did not want to debate
real time
or come on to talks if they were going to be fact checked, because they wanted the ability to lie with impunity.
Correct.
So now Mark Zuckerberg is removing his fact checkers and replacing it with something called a community files, where people can go in and post, this isn't true, that isn't true, as opposed to it just not being on there because it is disinformation. So you can basically say anything you want now on Facebook. Zuckerberg is not going to flag it anymore, and it's going to be up to the community out there to make sure people understand that this may not be true. Then he's moving the team that was doing the fact checking from Democratic California to Republican Texas. So it won't look like that all of his team is a bunch of liberal deep state plants, that he actually has a company that is representative of all. And that is so because Trump previously had threatened that Mark Zuckerberg deserved to go to jail. And Zuckerberg is worried that Trump might call that promise in.
Okay.
It is so funny to me how Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, even Elon Musk to an extent, and some of these other guys that have more money than God are so, you would think they're alphas, but they're letting Trump alpha them. They are letting Trump tell them, no, you're going to do it the way I want it, or I'm coming after you. I'm going to sick my Justice Department on you. I'm going to sick my Federal Communications, my FCC after you. And we're going to come up with regulations that will hurt your company and hurt your ability to make money. And if I was Jeff Bezos, if I was Mark Zuckerberg, and I got my pick of lawyers from here to the end of the earth to basically say, let's go. Let's do it then. We'll
because
see.
In essence, I mean, because I'm on board with what you're saying. In essence, you're taking the the top 1% of moneymakers,
Mm-hmm.
and it's given the illusion that we are already under this aristocracy.
Mm-hmm.
Because regardless as to how much money they're making, because King Trump said so, then we'll just bow down.
Yeah. It's agreement in advance. I'm going to comply before you make me comply, because I know what you're going to want me to do. So I'm going to give it to you ahead of time. And hopefully by doing that, then you will pat me on my head and you will turn me around and say, now you go back and you come back when I tell you to, you little bitch.
Right.
And that's how he's treating. And you know what they're doing? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have another. Oh, and here's another $15 million to go into your presidential library that you'll never have.
Yeah.
You know,
that's funny. What would that library look like? And what would it be filled with?
pictures of him.
McDonald's?
Pictures
I
of
just say it'll be a pictogram.
hoisting
It'll be a
fake dog
pictogram. It ain't gonna
tournaments.
be. It ain't gonna have words because
He
he
don't read.
obviously
It'll be a lot of
struggles
I
with
was
that.
just like, is it going to be like a comic book? But
It'll be a bunch of pictures.
It'll be his
It will
library
be-
will
Lori, I will tell you
encompass
this.
all of everything that he tried to sell, and then that will be so it'll be like, instead of a library, it'll be like a store.
It'll be like a
Oh,
museum.
Trust me, it
Yeah.
will have a gift shop in it.
Oh, and that's what it'll be.
Oh yeah,
It'll be
oh, yeah.
everything that he ever tried to hawk and sell, and oh yeah, it's going to be a
absolutely.
mess.
You know, there's the Hall of Justice, and then there's the Hall of Lies, and that's all it's going to be is just one lie, one grift after another, all under one building.
Lies and grift, please
Well,
trust
Lies and
me.
grift.
Well, I would hope, because even with, and then I guess what bothered me is that the inauguration is taking place on Martin Luther King's birthday.
They just
Martin
haven't
And
Luther
please
King's Day.
believe me, they did that on purpose.
I mean, I'm just
Please
like,
believe they
it's
did
just
that
like
on
a
purpose.
slap.
No. Well, hold on, because I don't want this information either. January 20th is in the Constitution.
It's
January
in the
20th.
Constitution. So because it fell on
January
this
20th
year.
at 12 noon is in the Constitution. MLK Day does not always fall on January.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That is correct.
Okay.
And not to put on some
it fell that way.
disinformation.
It was kind of like how those folks, and I don't want to do the same thing that they did when they said that Easter fell on the same day this past Easter as LGBTQ day, and they made it. Oh, how can they celebrate LGBTQ on the day that Jesus rose from the grave? Well, they didn't. It just happened that Easter sometimes comes early, sometimes comes late, and that particular time it happened to fall on the same day. It wasn't some liberal plant of devaluing Easter and shitting on Jesus because you believe that these abominations don't have a right to celebrate their own day. And they made so much of a thing and even blame Biden for it, as if it wasn't on the calendar well before he won the election. And it's like, man, and you know what? I had this other guy on my Facebook today, and this has nothing to do with what we were just talking about, but it made me think about another dumbass conspiracy theory that I saw today. And, you know, you see conspiracy theories from people that ordinarily you would think that they're pretty level-minded people and they wouldn't spread dumb shit.
All right.
This guy spreads this thing talking about the wildfires in California were planned because they're trying to clear out that land to get ready for the 2028 Olympics that are coming so that they can redevelop it. And that was their way of clearing it out so then they could rebuild and redevelop in time for the 2028 Olympics. I can't make that up. I read that and I'm like,
So
what?
Yeah. Right.
you know what? I'm not even going to entertain
What?
that. I'm not.
Again, where did he post it? Where did I read it? Facebook. That's my point. Exactly right there. That shit is living on Facebook.
Has there been a new because of everything that's going on with Facebook and with Mark Zuckerberg, are we starting to see either like another platform or something else that may be trying to build to kind of, because I think a lot of people are not doing a lot of things on Facebook.
Well, I did see this. I've been seeing this commercial. I don't know how much y'all watch Royal Martin Unfiltered on Black Star Network or
I watch them pretty often.
But Isaac Hayes' son, Isaac Hayes Jr., is trying to come up with a social media platform called Fanbase. I think it is.
Yeah.
It's a startup.
I did hear something to that.
And he's even giving people the opportunity to invest in Fanbase for, I believe it's $399, and it gives you 60 shares in the company. I don't know if it'll ever get how big it'll get. I believe it already has almost 500,000 users. I may actually look into it and try it out.
That might be something.
But it's supposed to be able to give even people like me and a platform to take my followers, be able to monetize and things like that. So it's something I just haven't had enough time to really look at. But every time I watch Roland Martin, he does Isaac Hayes Jr.'s commercial at the end where he talks about the fan base and stuff like that. So we may have to transition over, because what happens is this is corruption, where a lot of these companies, and media has been the biggest offender of this for years, where the NBCs of the world rely on advertisers to keep them afloat. And even now, NBC is taking MSNBC and they're spinning them off. They're splitting away from MSNBC, and they're going to.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know if you saw that Comcast is going to spin them off from Comcast, and they're going to turn them into some spin something and all of that, and it's going to take MSNBC, Sci-Fi Golf Channel. I'm sorry, no, that's not true. It was MSNBC. I'm trying to remember something. The Golf Channel, some other stuff that they had, and they're going to bunch it into something different and call it something else, but basically separate it from NBC News. So MSNBC back in the day, the MS was Microsoft, because they had joined NBC and they just kept the name, even when Microsoft was no longer part of it. But they're gonna actually pull out of it now and be two totally different entities. And I guess NBC will focus more on mainstream news, and then MSNBC will probably become more just opinionated, so that they can. And I think what they're doing that for reasons, so that when Trump inevitably comes after MSNBC, Comcast will still be protected.
And then also because NBC or NBC Universal has Disney. Isn't it? No.
ABC
I'm sorry. ABC is Disney. Excuse me. I apologize. Yes, it's this way. So I was just trying to sit in here, because I know with NBC is Universal, but they're, it's just interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, Bravo is a part of that too. Yeah, I was just sitting there going through. Oh, okay. So no, I'm sorry. So NBC Universal's best known brands: MSNBC, Sci-Fi, Golf Channel, USA. I didn't realize USA was part of that. CNBC and Oxygen which now face the same cord-cutting challenges. So they're going to basically house them digitally, so they won't be on the air. Kind of like how you pull up Peacock and stuff like that. A lot of these, they're going away from that. And they're going to just basically keep their NBC News as a separate entity. You're right. So a lot of stuff is changing. A lot of it has the taste of they're getting ready for 4 years of Donald Trump trying to come up with policies and regulations that could hurt them if they don't bend the knee and do what they want. and those are going to be some real things that are going to happen. Let me see what else I had on here before I go over what I think the next 4 years are going to be. So we talked about Jimmy Carter last week. Jack Smith has officially resigned from the Department of Justice. He's no longer the special counsel. He has released, after all of the court proceedings, volume 1 of the 2 volumes that he had. Part of a special counsel's mandate is at the end of their investigation is to release a report to Congress. Well, the volume 1 was about the election interference in 2020 that was being overseen by court judge Tanya Chutkan in DC. And Trump fought for that to be released, especially to the public, because it would heavily detail his involvement in trying to overthrow the election of 2020. And he did not want that to see the light of day. And it was being held up, and it finally got pushed through. So Congress has it. We also have it. You can Google it. It will come up, and you can review it for yourself. But Jack Smith, and the reason that we wanted it out, because unlike the Mueller report that Bill Barr interjected into and said it found no evidence that Trump did anything wrong, which is not what it found. And Robert Mueller, even when he got questioned, basically said, if not for the opinion of the DOJ that a sitting president can't be indicted, he said he couldn't even consider it because it wasn't something that could happen. Well, what Jack Smith said is that, oh, we only dismissed this case because a sitting president cannot be charged or convicted. But he made it clear that they felt as if they had enough evidence that had he not been elected, his ass would be going to jail. Mm-hmm. That's what they made it clear, that this is not an exoneration. Republicans love to say, Pete Hegseth, that because charges were not filed or dropped or dismissed, that exonerated you. That is not what an exoneration is. An exoneration would be you went to trial and you were found to be not guilty. That is an exoneration. Not wanting to charges against you does not exonerate you. That means your ass need to be lucky that they felt like they did not have a 99.9% chance of convicting your ass, because at the end of the day, nobody wants to be embarrassed by bringing charges that end up in a hung jury or a non-guilty verdict. That is the reality. That is not an exoneration. Pete Hegseth. Exactly. So that is volume 1 that is now out. Now there is a volume 2 that isn't coming out, because volume 2 is all about the classified documents down in Mar-a-Lago. And the reason that isn't coming out is, number one, Trump has been, again, removed from that case because of the fact that he won the election. But he had 2 co-defendants, his employees at Mar-a-Lago, that helped him cover up the crime of trying to hide the documents, De Oliveira and Waltine Nada. And because it's an ongoing case that is currently in appeal right now, because Judge Aileen Cannon dismissed the case, it is in appeal with the 11th Circuit to try to bring it back. So she's afraid, and truthfully speaking, if he did release it and it detailed a lot of stuff, it could taint a possible future jury, and it would not give them their ability to defend themselves properly in a court of law. Everybody is assumed innocent until proven guilty. And if you put out a report like that, it would shade them in a guilty way, where they would not be able to go into any court. And then they would be able to actually file a motion to dismiss because of it. So it would harm their chances of getting a fair trial. You know, so we still believe in the rule of law and that it would need to go through the system. Now, I did hear an interesting take by Michael Popak today, where I guess Dan Goldman and Jamie Raskin are trying to get Merrick Garland to just simply dismiss the case altogether so that volume 2 can be released. Because once a case is now totally dismissed and there are no appeals, now you're not impugning on anybody's ability to defend themselves. Now the judge that was overseeing the case loses all jurisdiction, and there's nothing that would prevent the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, from being able to release Jack Smith's report, at least to the chairman and the ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. But as long as that case is active in any part, appellate or at the district court level, they can't release it because it would be irresponsible to do so. And they're worried that even if they just released it to the committee members in Congress, that it would leak out to the public. So they don't even want to do that. But if you just dismiss it altogether, because let's be honest, if you don't dismiss it and it goes through the appellate, okay, you're going to win on the fact that she dismissed it because she said special counsels are illegal, which is not true. But even if you win on that note, which you will, all Trump is going to do when he comes in is he's going to pardon the two of them. Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, is going to come in and dismiss the case anyway. So go ahead and just dismiss it now so you can at least preserve your record. Because if Volume 2 doesn't come out before Monday, it'll never come out. She'll pour so much dirt on that damn thing. You'll find Jimmy Hoffa before you find them reports. Ain't no way in the world. Ain't no way. Yeah, it will come up missing. You'll find Elvis. You'll find Tupac before you find them reports. Ain't no way.
On the beach drinking Kool-Aid.
You know it. You know it. It ain't gonna happen. And so that's clear. So Jack Smith has done his thing.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna see if anything is gonna happen when Trump really comes into office, as far as being retaliated against for doing that. And Trump also fought his sentencing, but it still happened on the 10th last week on Friday. He was finally convicted of all 34 charges in New York. But he fought it tooth and nail. He fought it. But so Trump will go into office officially a convicted felon. You always have to remember, just because a jury finds you guilty, that doesn't attach the status of convicted felon on you until you're actually sentenced. Trump did not, and Trump even took this to the Supreme Court. And surprisingly, Amy Coney Barrett and John Roberts sided with the three liberal justices to block Trump's request. The story to me wasn't who voted against Trump being convicted. It was the ones that voted for him to not be convicted, which would have been the usual suspects: Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, Alito, and Uncle Tom. I mean,
Clarence Thomas.
Yeah. So they voted for the fact that they didn't think that he should be convicted, even though he was already found to be guilty 12-0 by a jury of his peers. And now here's the thing. He got found, they didn't block the conviction, but the reason that I think they didn't block it is because you have no appellate rights like that until you're actually convicted. And Trump tried to skip over. He didn't exhaust all of his appellate avenues before trying to take it to the Supreme Court. So basically, even though they didn't really say that in the order fully, it was implied that, hey, you need to be convicted first, and then you have full right of appeal of your conviction. And then you can exhaust that conviction all the way back up to the Supreme Court. And then at that point, I'm not sure if John Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett would vote that way. But I think they were just saying this would be premature to be on your side on this from a legal standpoint. So I don't think it was because they necessarily wanted to weigh in. I think he put them in that situation, and they just basically said, hey, but you came to us, but you skipped over and we can't let you do that. So we're going to have to send it back and let it sit in the Supreme Court in New York first, and then move forward through the appellate process. So That's what happened with that. Trump is a convicted felon. And it's going to be funny, the convicted felon is going to place his hand on the Bible and swear to uphold the laws that he broke.
That's the funny part.
The irony of it all. So
that's the funny.
That Bible
that's the funny and
flames.
sad part of
it. It is
that because, and see, this is what I mean by, man. No, I won't.
Well, again,
I won't do it on
again.
your
When
show.
you had other choices, but your choice was still the pussy grabbing 34 count indicted. Still had court. Still is indicted in Georgia, even though it's hanging on life support. Still unindicted in Arizona and other places. Yet you would rather take him than a accomplished black woman. Yeah, it really tells you about where the country is. So
yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah, but there's no such thing as racism or sexism, and it's just all made up, and it's all in our heads and so forth.
Well, okay. You say that, CJ, and here's something that I heard on some right-wing pundits saying about the fires in California. The fires in California are being blamed on DEI and CRT.
Huh?
You want to know why? This is going to alarm you that the fire chief in Los Angeles is a black woman. Now, why would CRT and DEI now be an issue with them damn fires? But these folks want to tell us they ain't racist at all. But it's coming out of their mouths that, Elon Musk posted a post that basically said DEI in California means people DIE. Yeah, Elon, yes, he did. He damn sure did. Again,
well, you know what? Look, like I said, Trump was just he was the front door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That's all he was. That's the only thing he is. There are worse things coming.
Remember Charlie Kirk basically alluded to the same thing, that if he gets on a plane and sees a black pilot, he has to question whether the guy's qualified or whether he was just black.
I see all of them are making a comeback. All of them.
So now
at one point in time,
now you just can't blame it on the fact that there's unprecedented winds in an area that caused a fire. Now you have to blame it on the fact that had there been a competent white man in place, then these fires wouldn't be as bad as they were. But because the fire chief is actually a black woman, well, obviously she got put in that position because they were meeting a quota. Obviously. Listen
here, man. I don't know which one is worse. Either the DEI, the DIE, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Approach, or the far religious conspiracy theory that they got going on about it, dang them near being like the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. So either way, I know. Don't. We won't.
But I can see it.
Don't, and we won't. Don't, and we won't.
I get it.
Okay. But see, since I know that we are familiar, and I'm just like,
wow.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. You know what? Have at it. Have at it.
No, it's.
I mean, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know whether to be sad, mad, frustrated, laugh at it. Like, it's all kinds of.
CJ, I'm more disappointed than sad, because I'm not upset when Trump or some of these other conspiracy theorists put this stuff out there. I'm sad for our country because there are so many low information people out there that will believe anything.
Right, exactly.
Even if it's provably false. I'm not saying I just can't really tell who's to know and that kind of thing. But when it's provably false,
tangible things, some things that you can actually touch
go
feel
down that
and
rabbit
see.
hole
Yeah,
and believe it
and
anyway.
right, because they don't, because people have disassociated themselves from the truth. Them and the
Big
truth
time.
don't get along at all. They're actually hurt you allergic to the truth. They break out in hives. The truth makes them feel uncomfortable. Matter of fact, they tell you so.
Yeah.
Don't tell me about me. Don't tell me that I'm
Don't
wrong.
give me the
Don't
facts. I'm gonna do my own research.
right. If you are not in agreement with me, no matter how crazy my thoughts and processes and stuff are, we're gonna cancel you. We're gonna shut you down because you're making me feel bad and wrong and everything. And that's not what I want. So I mean, like I said, the doors
That's right.
of the, and I'm not gonna call it a church. The doors of the ridiculous are open, and it's, come on, everybody. The floodgates, the floodgates are now open,
It don't make
and
no sense.
it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be entertaining to say the least. Um, but it's also gonna be sad too. It's gonna be a very, very, very sad 4 years.
You know, the only thing that I can hope for, and I think that some of it is true, not all of it, but I think some of it will be true, is that some of the things that Trump will want to do, he for it to be permanent, it's going to require Congress.
And that's why
And
I'm somewhat
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
somewhat optimistic, because that's the only reason. I mean, and that is the only reason, is that all the really outlandish things that he wants to do,
yep.
Congress has to
And there's only a few things that I believe Congress will
pass it.
pass. The tax cuts might get passed because all of them.
Oh yeah, now the tax cuts is definitely going to go through, because that's thickening their pockets as well.
But I still think it's not going to be as easy as it seems, and this is the reason why. For the Republicans to normally maintain their hold of Congress, they have to have a majority in the House.
Right.
Now they have it in the Senate. They're not losing that majority, but the House majority right now, they're only at 119 or 117, 18, something like that. And if all the confirmations go through, which it looks like they are, because none of the Republicans have a spine to stop Trump's crazy picks that we're seeing right now, that he's going to lose some people from the House of Representatives that he's nominated. That's going to make it where they basically will have a 2-seat majority in the House, meaning that you're going to run into the old Joe Manchin playbook, meaning that any one person now can hold up legislation if you don't give them what they want. Right. So take a Marjorie Taylor Greene that may say, well, I'm not voting for it unless I get this committee assignment. I'm not voting for it unless you pass my resolution of this or that, and basically make Mike Johnson cave and give into her so that they can get their legislation across, because they know they're not going to get any help from the Democrats.
No,
but then,
but we can squash all that and take it outside.
She don't want none of that. I don't know what Nancy Mace was thinking, telling Jasmine Crockett, because when she said Nancy Mace,
that was my entertainment for today, bro. When I saw that,
it's so ghetto, telling that black woman that we can take it outside. She just don't know. All I could see in my mind was Jasmine sitting there pulling out them eyelashes, clipping off them fingernails,
and put some Vaseline.
She wouldn't even have to do none of that. She wouldn't have to do none of that.
And about to break open a can of ass.
Bro. She wouldn't even have to do that.
She was going to give a 2-piece.
That's it.
Right there. 2-piece.
For real.
But then you know what I can't stand with them. Stand behind your words. You knew what you meant. But then when
everybody know.
One of the representatives asked for the words to be stricken, Maxwell Frost it was actually, and said that it incited violence. You could hear Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about How does that incite violence?
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
already know. Well,
yeah.
she could have been saying that they wanted to go outside and talk about it.
You know what? I love it how
By the
whenever
time we get outside, ain't gonna be
they
no
want to
talking.
use our expressions, right? They only want to take it literally when it benefits them.
Yes.
And then when they realize they about to get they behindhanded to them, then it's like, now you want to take it as the other meaning.
That way. Why'd you take it that way?
What did you mean by what's up? I mean, I was looking like what's up, like in the sky. I mean, because you said, well, what's up? I mean, I looked up. I mean, you know, I just wanted for us to observe what was up.
I will say though, if you do that in New York, you could get your ass whooped. Yeah, I mean, you be on the train and you walk with somebody you know and be like, "What's up? What you mean? What's up? What's up with you?
Exactly.
You ready, son? Let's do this." Now, Lori,
you don't know me, son.
Right? You might catch a 2 weeks for that. You might get stabbed for that.
They know. Listen. You don't even have to be collegiately educated to know what are fight words.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You know exactly what you're saying. You know exactly what you're implying.
Degrees of the same words, but different meanings. On this one, depending on, you know, because what's up can be like, yo, what's up, fam? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Exactly. Because it's like a bajillion ways to say what's up. But we all understand that one, what's up.
Exactly.
But
and the way that she did it, she said, hold on, allow me to demonstrate. We could take this outside.
But you know what? That
doesn't imply.
That's who she is. She's a troll. She always looks for reasons to sit there and try to get clicks and stuff like that. That's why she's been leaning heavily into this whole trans thing and in conference committee hearings, asking everybody whether it has anything to do with men and women or not, asking people that are testifying to give her their definition of a man, their definition of a woman. And if you can't do it, she tries to use it as a gotcha moment because she knows later that it'll be clipped out and then she can use it to raise campaign money off of. She's a troll. When she voted against Kevin McCarthy, she comes out wearing, and now this is how stupid she is though. She comes out wearing an A, a red A on her chest, talking about it's because she's being vilified as a woman, making her own decisions and stuff. And I'm like, well, you stupid bitch. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The A is for meaning that you committed adultery, you dumb bitch. Has nothing to do with the fact that you voted against Kevin McCarthy wearing a scarlet A on your damn chest, you dumbass.
Stupid.
But it's just stuff like that.
Anything like we say, anything for likes and clicks, because you're not relevant.
Yeah,
you're not smart.
That's her only way is to show folks
like my woman say, she tries so desperately to be relevant, to be Jasmine Crockett, to be, because she looks at her, she really admires her. Okay, truth be told, she looks at that woman in total awe and be like, dang, that's how I want to be when I grow up. You know?
Even though they try to vilify Jasmine, because Jasmine speaks, Jasmine can go in and out of professional speak. She does it beautifully. But she'll ain't stuff and she'll child stuff. And woo, y'all getting on my nerves. And okay, I gotta get this back together. And I'm fin to this and fin to that. But then she can go right back into proper speak too. So she'll go all over the place, but they'll call her ghetto and ratchet for that.
Of course, I mean they were already trying to.
They would have done that no matter what she said, because they vilified Michelle Obama the exact same.
Because they don't know what to do with her. It's that's just like trying to argue politics with Peter Buttigieg. What's his name?
Buttigieg.
Yeah, you can't argue with that man.
No,
You can't argue with
you
him.
look stupid on your own program.
For
Don't
real.
take
And he
your program.
on your own platform.
Yes, he will destroy you. Yeah.
And they ain't ready. And see, that's the thing about it. They want to be us so bad. They want that swag. They want that gift of gab. They want that gift to be able to captivate audience and to be entertaining,
See, they have the same
educational,
issue with,
all at
they
the
have
same time.
issue with AOC, Jamie
Yeah,
Raskin,
oh man.
Jasmine Crockett, Maxwell Frost. There's so many folks on the Democratic side that are good orators that they cannot, because they're like, oh my gosh, this guy here. When they look at a Raphael Warnock, for instance, they can't do it. John Ossoff down in Georgia, they can't do it.
They can't.
They can't. I mean, these people will run circles around them, and that's why when they are in the minority in these committee hearings, and then they get a chance at the microphone, they eviscerate these people. They make them look like idiots. When you watch a James Comer sitting there talking about, well, you, Joe Biden, and part of the Biden crime family. What? And then you see like a Jerry Moskowitz just talking about, okay, Mr. Chairman, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and indict Joe Biden. Anybody second it? And then looking around like, and then there ain't nobody saying a damn thing.
That's my dude, man. That's my dude.
Moskowitz is a fool.
For real.
He is like
on one.
Modern day Al
He is
Franken,
really on one.
Al Franken. He ain't in the Senate yet, but he's like Al Franken. They can sit there and mix policy and jokes together and have you rolling, but it be straight on point at the same time. And you're like,
I'm saying, man.
You are
These
hilarious.
people are masterful.
Yes, but Jamie Raskin, always constitutional lawyer, always gives them a master class on the Constitution. So though they are the future, I'm just hoping that the Nancy Pelosi's, the Dick Durbins, my man down in South Carolina, Clyburn, they just go ahead and say, look, we need to get out of their way and let them do what they got to do. Stop blocking AOC from committee assignments being and let her get ranking member status on some of these things instead of just being a committee member and stuff like that. Move aside and let some of these younger generation of folks that are good communicators come out and be able to lead the party. That's if the party doesn't do that, then there could be a President J.D. Vance in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I hate to end on that note, but if you do not learn from your past, you are doomed to repeat it.
Oh yeah.
And this whole thing of folks being in the Senate, being in the House, and going by tenure versus who's the best person, that needs to go away.
Right.
And that's why they tried to say, well, AOC wasn't her turn to get it because Jerry Connolly has been around longer and he deserves it. Even though AOC can run circles around him. AOC got to sit under Jamie Raskin and learn a lot of stuff. She could head a committee, or not head it because they're not in the majority, but be the ranking member and hopefully have an opportunity in 2 years to gain the majority back, which most likely they will, because more seats will be up, and then become the actual.
It's gonna be a long 2 years, bro. That's all I'm saying.
It's gonna be a long 2 years. So what I was going at before we go though is that a lot of the things would need Congress to make it permanent, but some of the things Trump may try to go ahead and do by executive order. And the thing that gives me hope with that, the more executive orders that he signs, there are already plenty of lawyers out there ready to challenge and take those to court and do the same thing that Trump did with his legal cases, is tied up in court minimum 2 years, because nothing moves fast in the court, tied up minimum 2 years to get the House in Democratic hands, or some of the things may even take longer than that, whether it's expanding oil drilling leases. Well, that's going to be fought in court, and that's going to last a long time. You ain't going to be able to just do that. Mass deportations through executive order can be fought in court and be tied up. Even though he says day one, you might file it on day one, but I tell you what's going to be in court on day two. Briefs, and then you're gonna have to sit there and have those briefs heard. Then there's reply briefs. Then there's reply to the reply brief. Then there's a decision. Then there's an appeal. Then you got to brief that appeal. Then you have a reply brief to that appeal and a reply to the reply brief of that appeal. Then you appeal it again. And you do a brief of that. And then you do a reply brief and you do a reply to the reply. And then you get a answer. Then you appeal that. That takes a long ass time.
That'll take about 4 years. That'll take about 4 years.
As long as it's being appealed, 9 times out of 10, you can get a stay on the decision, which means it freezes it in place and it cannot proceed until there is a ultimate resolution. And if the ultimate resolution is the Supreme Court, yes, it could eventually go his way, but it's going to probably go his way by the time he's already walking out the door, and or his successor or somebody else is already starting their 2028 presidential campaign, because you know that will start in 2 years as well. Somebody's going to announce that they're running for president in the next 2 years.
Oh yeah, that's happening.
And then he's going to become even more of a lame duck, unpopular president as well, especially once he starts. Now, tariffs, that is something that he can do from day one. He can do that. Right. He doesn't need Congress to do that. But once
in Canada was she already owned that.
And before I go, I got this acquaintance, I will say, that posted one of Trump's dumbass posts the other day about instead of having the Internal Revenue Service, get rid of them and have the External Revenue Service, because that's how his brain thinks. Internal, let's switch it to the external. So the External Revenue Service will go after collecting tariffs and fees from abroad. I'm going to give this quick 45-second class. Dumbasses. Tariffs are a tax on the people that buy the products that are being quote unquote tariffed. When I own my electronics store here in North America, purchases televisions from China, and you tell China that y'all can't take this shit off the boat until you pay us a 30% tariff. I've already paid China for the stuff.
Exactly.
China doesn't pay to get the stuff off the boat. I do.
Exactly.
Meaning that now I've paid not just $800 for the TV, but $800 plus $30. So now if I get that TV off the boat, for me to be able to sell it, I already was going to have to mark it up anyway. Now I got to throw that extra 30% on there because I can't take a loss for every TV that I sell.
Exactly.
That makes no, so you're not so yes, your coffers, your External Revenue Service is collecting money, but it's taking it from me. The same one that's paying taxes. Mm-hmm. You're taxing me again for the same damn thing. It's like when I get a bonus from my job and I have to pay damn near 50% tax on my bonus checks. And then at the end of the year, when you do my taxes, you tax me again off the same thing you already taxed me for. Exactly. That's crazy. So that's all you're doing to these business owners is you're taxing them twice for the same thing they already paid for and paid taxes on. That's all you're doing. So yes, you're going to show this enormous amount of money that you collected, but you didn't get it from China. You didn't get it from Germany. You didn't get it from Canada. You got it from the people.
From the consumer.
Now, some tariffs are a good thing if they're targeted, but Trump is not proposing targeted tariffs. He's proposing unilateral tariffs. If I wanted to sit there and have electric battery plants built in North America, and I wanted to disincentivize Ford, GM from buying electric batteries from China, then yes, I would say we're going to place a tariff on batteries that come from overseas because I want you to support the warehouses in the country and buy there so it creates jobs and it helps with our economy. So that's what would be a targeted tariff, so that I'm keeping Ford and them from going and pulling stuff from overseas because maybe they feel like it would be cheaper if they got it from there. So what we're going to say is we're not going to let them undercut the U.S. manufacturers. So we're going to add a tariff that either brings it to the same cost that you could get it in America and quicker, or just slightly higher, so it would incentivize you to get it just straight from America. But we doing that because we realized that it would be a tax on the company in this country, not on the country outside of us. It doesn't hurt China
at all,
because you have no jurisdiction over another country, even though you think you do. Even though you think you can make Canada become the 51st state, even though you think you can take Greenland from Denmark, even though you think you can take the Panama Canal back from Panama.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Even all those things, you can't, because you don't have jurisdiction over there. So that's a quick lesson on tariffs on the External Revenue Service. But acquaintance of mine, and I use that loosely, posted that dumbass post from True Social about, oh man, it's about time we did this, make these other countries pay. And I'm sitting there going, tell me you don't know what the hell you talking about without saying I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So anyway. Lori, I know I ran over a lot, but that just hit me at the end about that dumbass post from Larry. I'm sorry, from an acquaintance. Yeah, it was just absolutely stupid. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and close it up. We had a long show. We'll miss y'all next week, but we will be back the following week for head to head. So tune in then. But until then, y'all take it easy. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, CJ. Y'all have a good one. See you then. Peace.
Hey.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a